Today, I want to talk to you about something that I love is the love of God. How it is so vast, it is so deep, and it is so endless. And my favorite part of his love is really the benefits of it, and it is rest. And that is something that I want to talk to you today. It is about resting in the promises of God. But also to understand what resting in the promises of God is, we need to understand what rest is. Resting is this undeniable, I trust you, God. I trust that because of who you are and of what you are, I know that I am safe in your hands, that you are for me, that you are never against me, that your love, because you love me so much, because of you allowing and letting your only begotten son to come down onto this earth to save and redeem me, to make sure that I am back in right standing with you. A scripture that we see in John 3:16 and also read into 17. That is something we receive the benefits of three forms of rest. That is spiritual, that is earthly, and that is heavenly. As believers, we all know about the heavenly rest. That is what we receive after salvation. And we know that when we pass away, that we can go to heaven, that we have this eternal rest. But there's this thing. There's always this tug of war between our earthly and that spiritual rest. You know, that spiritual rest is our spirit man just cheering us on and us, diving deep and trusting in the sovereignty of God. But that earthly rest is resting in the benefits or the fruits of our labor. In Genesis, God, he created the heavens and the earth and everything that's in it in those 6 days. But then on the seventh day, he rested. So whatever your resting day is, enjoy it. That is your earthly rest. Whatever you have been working on and that you've accomplished it and now you're seeing the fruits of it, enjoy that earthly rest. You deserve it because you have worked so hard for this thing or for this relationship or whatever that thing is. Enjoy it. But there's still that tug of war, when we feel that we're not getting something, we're not reaching a certain goal, or we haven't accomplished something. There's that spiritual part of it where we're just not at rest. We're just like, God, I know you say you're gonna come through, but I don't see it. God, but no, no. Enter into that spiritual rest where God says that he will bless you beyond measure, where if he has placed that promise of being in a marriage, that he will see it, come through, that he will make sure that it happens, because whatever God has promised you in your heart, when in the deepest down, you just know that it's going to happen, that's God inspired. God will never give you a dream or a hope that will never happen. God is not like that. God does not like to tease his children. God does not like to tease his beloved. He's not a teaser. He is a good father. So you may know the love of God as this vast, this wide, this deep, and this endless thing. But do you know him as a God of rest? Do you know him as the God of this eternal rest? Do you know him as the God of this earthly rest? So today I want to encourage you to reflect on your commitment, to reflect on your perspective of trusting God, to reflect on your heart posture of how it is towards God and everything that you have and you don't have yet. When people ask me, hey, are you married? I say, I'm not married yet. They're like, oh, do you have any kids? I'm like, no, I don't have any kids yet. There's always a yet to a promise that has yet been fulfilled. Always. That's why I always respond, no, I haven't been married yet. No, I haven't received that yet, because I know that it's going to happen. That was a mindset change that I had to come to, because I could say, no, I'm not married. That's an open-ended thing. Do you want to be married or do you not? Do you want to have kids? Do you want to be successful? Do you want to be healed? Do you want to be whole? Like, do you want this or that? But if you say, this is the most simplest thing, but if you say, no, I'm not married yet, or no, I haven't reached that goal yet, or I haven't accomplished this yet, or anything yet, that means it's still in motion. That means you're resting in the promise of God. That means that you are trusting and relying on God to see you through. So when the scripture says in chapter 4, where it says, if we believe though, we'll experience the state of resting. If we believe, what do you believe? What do you believe?